with some rumors going around about one DiJonai Carrington and NaLyssa Smith being no longer an item.
Breakups in the WNBA, now that's not something you see every day, but when NaLyssa Smith and DiJonai Carrington stopped following each other on social media, fans immediately noticed, and the internet went wild. What happened between them? NaLyssa mess up, or was DiJonai the one who pulled the plugs? Cut here. This breakup has left fans divided, with cryptic tweets, subtle shade, and rumors flying everywhere. But one thing is for sure, someone is regretting it big time. Relationships in the WNBA have always been a hot topic, but when two high-profile players like NaLyssa Smith and DiJonai Carrington go from being inseparable to complete strangers, the internet starts buzzing. At first, people thought it was just another social media hiccup, maybe an argument, a misunderstanding, but when both of them suddenly unfollowed each other on Instagram.
If the WNBA wants to ever be truly taken seriously as a professional league, you have got to eliminate the one element that really nobody has to worry about in any other professional league. And that is relationships, personal, actual relationships inside these locker rooms.
And started posting cryptic messages. It became clear that something big had gone down.
Most perfect pairing that I could have pictured in my mind. DiJonai Carrington and NaLyssa Smith. Oh, they just go together, guys. Like peanut butter and jelly. Like green eggs and ham. Like a hole in my head when I'm tired of listening to old WNBA guard go off at the mouth. That's how good NaLyssa Smith and DiJonai Carrington go together. It's a match made in heaven. So I'm actually heartbroken when I hear this news today. I'm heartbroken when I see that DiJonai Carrington and NaLyssa Smith are no longer following each other on Instagram.
Fans immediately took notice, and speculation spread like wildfire. Were they just having a rough patch, or was this the end for good? Was NaLyssa at fault, or did DiJonai pull the plug? More importantly, did one of them regret it? And trust me, if there's one thing we know about celebrity breakups, it's that social media always tells the real story. At first, people thought it was just a rumor. Fans have seen WNBA couples break up and make up before, and since both of them play for the same team, it seemed too crazy to believe that they would actually call it quits. But the unfollow wasn't just a random click, it was the first clue that this breakup was real. Then came the cryptic posts. NaLyssa tweeted, "Nothing changes if nothing changes." A simple sentence, right? But if you read between the lines, it sounded like a message that she was ready to move on, or worse, that she wanted DiJonai to change. And it never happened. DiJonai wasn't silent either. Shortly after, she reposted a quote saying, "I like when things are just for me. I love that. Actually, now what?" Does that sound like a subtle shade at a relationship that might have been too public, or was she implying that NaLyssa wasn't just hers anymore? And just like that, the breakup theories exploded. People started digging into their recent interactions, trying to see if there had been warning signs. And guess what? There were plenty. First off, fans noticed that DiJonai had been posting a lot with Natasha Cloudway, more than usual. Normally, this wouldn't be suspicious. WNBA players hang out all the time, but given the timing, it raised eyebrows. Was Natasha just a friend, or was there something more going on? And then there was the Miami trip. Both NaLyssa and DiJonai were in Miami, but not together. Instead, DiJonai was out living her best life, posting stories, smiling, looking completely unbothered. Meanwhile, NaLyssa was quiet, barely posting. And when she did, it was nothing but workout videos and motivational quotes. Come on now, all speculation. Neither DiJonai nor NaLyssa has come out and said what really happened. But based on how fast everything changed, it's safe to say that something serious went down. The real question is, who is hurting the most? At first, it seemed like DiJonai was completely over it. She was out hanging with friends and looking happier than ever. Meanwhile, NaLyssa was on silent mode, staying away from the drama. But then things flipped. A few days later, DiJonai posted a song lyric that had fans talking. She wrote, "I gave my all, and it still wasn't enough." Wait a minute, that's not something you post if you're totally fine. That's something you post when you're feeling played. And just like that, people started wondering, was DiJonai the one who got hurt? Because let's be real, if you're truly over someone, you don't need to post about it. Meanwhile, NaLyssa stayed silent, which only made things worse. When someone's too quiet after a breakup, that usually means one of two things: when they're plotting a comeback, waiting to drop the next bomb, two, they're regretting everything, and don't know what to say. And based on what we've seen, it's probably the second one, because here's the thing: DJ is thriving, getting all the attention and looking unbothered, but NaLyssa, she's missing from the spotlight. And let's not forget, they still have to play together now. This is where things get even crazier. Imagine walking into practice and seeing your ex every day. Imagine having to pass them the ball, all celebrate with them, pretend like nothing happened. That's exactly what NaLyssa and DI have to do now. And you already know the first game after a breakup is always the most awkward. Are they going to act professional and keep it cool, or will the tension be so obvious that fans will instantly notice? Because let's be real, if Jai starts ignoring NaLyssa on the court, or if NaLyssa refuses to hype D up, people will see right through it. And if one of them starts playing worse, you already know the internet will blame the breakup. Now that the breakup is confirmed, the biggest question on everyone's mind is what happens next. Because let's be honest, breakups are one thing, but breaking up while still being on the same team, that's next level awkward. And you already know that the first game after a breakup is when the real tea spills. Will they keep it professional and act like nothing happened, or will the tension be impossible to hide? And let's not forget, the fans are watching from the moment NaLyssa and D and I step on the court together. People are going to be analyzing every single interaction, realize they still need to win games together and at least get back to being professional. They don't need to be best friends, but if they can at least coexist, then maybe, just maybe, this whole situation blows over. But let's be honest, that's the least dramatic option. One of them request a trade now. This is where things could get really interesting, because if things get worse, one of them might just say, "I'm out." And if that happens, it raises an even bigger question: who would be the first to leave? Would Joni, since she's the one who seems completely over it, or would it be NaLyssa, since she's the one who looks affected the most? Either way, if one of them forces a trade, it'll be all over the headlines, and fans are already speculating, because let's be real, nobody's playing their best basketball when they're dealing with drama like this. They get back together now. I know what you're thinking. Is that even possible? Well, never say never, because let's be real, if they still have chemistry on the court, that means there's still something there. And remember, some of the most dramatic breakups in sports end with a reunion. Maybe they just needed space. Maybe one of them realizes they made a mistake, or maybe, and this is the wildest theory, this was all a stunt to get people talking. Think about it, their names have never been this viral before. Could they have planned this whole thing just to get the media buzzing? Now that might sound crazy, but trust me, stranger things have happened. Because let's be honest, we've seen athletes pull PR stunts before, and in the sports world, it's that they never stay quiet for long. So let's see what happens next, because if history has taught us anything, this isn't over yet. Now it's just a waiting game to see how this plays out. Will one of them request a trade? Will they make up and keep it professional, or will this turn into the biggest WNBA drama of the year? Either way, one thing is clear: NaLyssa might just be feeling that regret already. The next twist in this breakup, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you're curious about more WNBA drama, check out. Catch you in the next one.